Welcome to Synergetic Mind Self-Inaugurated Education, August 20th, 2024. The Continuity of Conscious Life, Episode 5. Synergetic Mind's metaphysical intellect is informed of a symmetrical cluster of spheres to conceptualize independent of size. Each sphere is a model of a field of energy. Energy comes from the sun in tetrahedral photon packages. The sun is a star in our solar system, which is a galaxy of quadrillions times quadrillions of stars. Stars are points of light in the night sky. Points are described in Synergetics as tetrahedrons of negligible base to altitude dimensioning. Energy goes through a photosynthesis, a process. Whether humans are aware of these phenomena of universe, we can become aware of universe's structural systems, the minimum of which is a polyhedron, a tetrahedron. So too is the photon package configured, is shown in Synergetics Color Plate number 10. Radiant Photons. Tetrahedron's topological characteristics are 6 lines or edges, 4 vertexes, 4 triangular faces or openings. A triangle is a polygon. Humans conceptually consider observed reality and eventually require the most accurately measured information, which refers to the energy sources of it. Consider comes from Latin, con plus sidus, joining stars together. The Latin star, Synergetics 510.05. Most likely, when learning of the model of a field of energy, the informed synergetic mind's anticipatory imagination's innovative propensity wonders how this newly acquired knowledge possibly could provide its systemic thought a reliable, regenerating energy resource corresponding with and applicable to its newest reality's generalized conceptioning. Every innovation requires a model of the most economically derived energy system, the least costly, the system for its anticipatory design science structuring. Since each sphere's forces tend to coordinate themselves in positive or negative patterns relative to the vector equilibrium, then logically the vector equilibrium model is essential for considering anticipatory realities. My synergetic mind's awareness of the vector equilibrium initially experienced the jitterbug model, a vector flexor construction toy comprising 24 wooden dowels and rubber tubes. The rubber tubes are vertexes. It demonstrates transforming from the vector equilibrium to the icosahedron to the octahedron as the assembly's 2 hemispheres are twisted in opposite directions, folding flat into a large triangle of 4 triangles that can be closed into one tetrahedron congruently comprising the 24 vectors. This vector flexor jitterbug model represents metaphysical physical universe's zero phase, sizeless, eternal patterning integrity, which is subsequent knowledge coinciding with awareness of 12 around 1 closest packed unit radius spheres that are recallable as a conceptual inception relative to awareness of UIVMOFCH, universe, isotropic, vector matrix, operational field, cosmic hierarchy. UIVMOFCH is a complex geometric model of energy configurations developed from a symmetrical cluster of closest packed uniradius spheres. Each sphere is a model of a field of energy quanta illustrated in color plate number 9. Obviously, imagination's inherent ability to formulate conceptually is more accurately informed concerning a self-regenerating energy resource of universe than the least accurate PRJWBCHM, politics, religion, justice, war, belief complexes, hierarchical matrix of the world. By contrast, PRJWBCHM historically manifests irrational, tyrannical, punitory-based assemblies that intend amassing greater and greater numbers of believers for controlling time and freedom as a dictatorship in the guise of a religion. It is unaware, or chooses to ignore, that the concept religion is from Latin reglio and means rule, R-U-L-E. Since nature is not tyrannical, in truth, its field of energy forces, represented by each sphere, never pauses at equilibrium, but interoscillates through various asymmetries. Could there be a more concisely elegant, relatively effortless beauty for the wisdom our intelligent species, humans of a mind, have always been searching to find within a TLBSWME lifetime? TLBSWME, truth, love, beauty, symmetry, wisdom, maximum economy, is contextually a desirable objective that easily fits into self-other omni-rational objectives. Could there be a more agreeable contrast to the basically disagreeable, tyrannical reglio of any ruler's demands? Ordinarily, such rules are fear-engendering threats of the perpetually imposed punitory mentality on the human psyche of the followers. In some beliefs, they are programmed by the religion to pray 5 times per day, as other denominations impose obligatory devotion on specific days of the week to devoutly attend. It focuses attention away from conceptualizing referential patterns of energy synergy, the intertransforming into relationships between anticipatory events, and consciously reducing the tolerance magnitudes of those particular inaccuracies of observation and articulation among all the reenacting articulations that humans can experience in a lifetime. Besides, as we can read in Synergetics 223.60, the rule of constant relative abundance, which is the conceptuality of the tetrahedrons, topological points, also knowable as vertexes, as well as the lines, also knowable as vectors. And the triangular faces, also known as openings, are omnitriangularly and circumferentially interconnected. This cannot be said of any R factor of the PRJWBCHM. But Synergetic Mind's awareness of omnitriangulation paves the clarifying approach to UIVMOFCH and the closest we will ever know to eternity and God, which I have more accurately named Universe, Eternal, Omniscient Mind, Eom, when considerations of unity and forming a more perfect union is not suppressed by any tyrannical inherited detriment. In our lifetime on Earth, humans observe the articulations. The articulations are ever reenacted, each time hoping to reduce the tolerance magnitudes of those events. Humanity's individual metaphysical intellect coordinates systemic thoughts, generalized conceptioning fields of energy referentially to spheres in closest packing. From sphere centers, theoretically, each isotopic vector's mass times its velocity equals 0, correlating patterns of the always and only coexisting complementarities that physics has found. Some of these complementarities, A quantum module and B quantum module, active and potential, action and reaction, angle and edge, annihilation and conservation, chaos and design, circumferential oscillations and inward and outward pulsations, conceiving and observing, cosmic and local, differentiation and integration, elementary and complex, entropy and syntropy, entropy and anti-entropy, energy and synergy, eternal conceptuality and temporal experience, event and no-vent, energetics and synergetics, focal push-pulling and omnidirectional, frequency and wave magnitude, function and function, generalization and specialization, geodesics and irrelevance, gravity in parentheses matter and radiation, zero and system, zero and heat. But none of these physics-discovered integrities bear any resemblance, theoretically, to theological substitution, which took hold of human populations millenniums ago in various emulations, and also from the 7th century AD, Anno Domini. Humans, our ancient ancestors, some of whom may have been in the process of correlating observations of nature's behaviors, were destroyed, annihilated by the punitory ignorance that has since spread across the world, but is no less the reenacting contradictory tyrannical power that always intends controlling time and freedom by maintaining educated ignorance that is unwittingly ignorant of its synergetic mind's metaphysical propensities to conceptualize energy systems independent of size, where it is size alone that can come to zero, not the conceptuality. There is no logical reason to reject Guillaume and vector equilibrium as integral conceptualities that inform congregations of humans gathered in a mass attendance, where the interest in the eternal design of all that is in universe does not first have to refer to any ancient scripture, and relationships that typically hold true everywhere humans interact. This must have been on my mind when I initiated Omniscient Universe Internet Church, licensing it in the state of Washington August 8th, 2005, renewing it annually until the licensing fee increased to $50 August 3rd, 2022. And the process became too complicated since I never intended a physical church, but an internet communications process from the outset. Anyway, when not informed of this oscillation propensity, usurpers of theocratic origins supplant the information field with empty words. Empty words do not refer to a model of energy configuration and lack geometric principles. Consequently, despite genuine concerns of forming a more perfect union, the sincerely anticipated object is impossible, because its reenacting histories emanate from the obsoletable PRJWBCHM that can also be described as the womb of permitted ignorance. Womb and matrix are synonymous, from Latin matrix for mother, mater. Without an omnirational matrix referential to a field of energy, whose forces tend to coordinate themselves shuntingly and pulsatively relative to our friend, the vector equilibrium, our 21st century humanity is proverbially stuck in reenacting aspects of the Dark Ages, including its slave mentality. UIVMOFCH is the alternative option for the individual synergetic mind that has already awakened from dormancy to explore the conceptuality of unit radius spheres in closest packing as a self-inaugurated experiential experimental education. The awareness of it can also focus on forming a more perfect union, especially since unit, unity, and universe are essentially and relevantly interrelated terminology. With the universal communications process, TUCP, perpetually validating educated ignorance, when the ratios of synergetically informed populations on Earth could be many thousands to billions, and in the USA approximately 5,000, guesswork, to 322 million. Truly, I have no idea how many humans are knowledgeable about Arbuthnot-Fuller Synergetics from 1975 when Synergetics was published, and from 1979 when Synergetics 2 was published. In any case, any 20th century discovery naturally can be more relevant, as is Arbuthnot-Fuller Synergetics, the name for his discoveries of nature's coordinate system. It is consistently relevant to the continuity of his consciously coordinated geometry of thinking, compared to the inherited detriments throughout the always partially overlapping generations from thousands and hundreds of years ago. The synergetic model awareness is significantly relevant to omnirational observations and omnirational considerations that humans can develop relevantly to thought and language general systems thinking. Synergetics Potentially is the primary intellectually inspiring conceptuality correlating to general systems thinking. Politics overwhelms us. Religions misinform us. Justice can be weaponized to wrongfully punish us. War is life-threatening from all aspects of its behavior. These PRJW factors convince humans of false, premised narratives, deceptive agendas throughout TUCP. The manifest PRJW realities require believing the most powerfully positioned authorities, whose influence can misinform self and others. This continues by ignoring and invalidating eternality of our friend, the vector equilibrium, relative to the most noble intention to form a more perfect union. Awareness of the vector equilibrium can be considered the most economic friend. The vector equilibrium does not perniciously control freedom, as does the enemy of the people, humans who are coexisting everywhere on Earth. Until next time, thank you for your undivided attention. With a conscionable reminder again today, to the most gullible humans in the world not to be so fixated that confuses governmental responsibilities with the foolish fancies that conceal the underway intention to control such freedom once the power is in those hands. A true leader puts its humanity before the playground's fun and games, dance parties, cocktail hours. A true leader's ability to solve economic problems comes before the personality of a media-created celebrity, as is done when promoting movie stars. The ability to solve local problems must always be intended for the survival of every generation when the camera is turned off. Real-life, day-to-day reality requires life-sustaining energy from the most reliable resources, not pretentious political platforms. Relevant links: Synergetics Vector Equilibrium 200, Synergetics 223.60, Analysis of Topological Hierarchies, Omni-Triangulation, Synergetics 510.05, Synergetics Color Plate number 10, Synergetics Color Plate number 5.